He came into power right around the Hoffa.
Okay.
Hoffa era.
What's that, Hoffa?
Jimmy Hoffa? Jimmy Hoffa was with the Teamsters.
Okay.
And Ed Sadlowski was with the Steelworkers Union. And he was really young when he sort of rose to... I mean, there's books about him and everything. And the cool thing is I bought his house.
Really?
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
And he left all his books. I let him, like, he's got all this stuff in the basement. He's like a pack rat. He's like a hoarder.
Really?
But every once he comes back, because his daughter and I are like really close friends. And in fact, she runs one of my after school programs at Jane Addams School. So he can tell you stories about like when the steel mills were like the boom out here in the south side of Chicago.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing to sit down and talk to him.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like, and he's asked to speak at, like, we went to Madison, Wisconsin for the unions, to support the unions. And it's just amazing. He could tell you things like about this area that no one knows.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just an amazing guy. But he's like, this is how it was. Honey, I'm going to tell you.
It sounds like my grandpa. Like, he would tell me stories about, because he used to work in the steel mills over there. So he'd like, you know what, I don't understand. Like, when, I remember when I was younger, and I told him I wanted to get an earring. And he goes, I know guys when I was in the mill who'd wear earrings, and they'd have metal in their ears for the rest of their lives. And I'm just like, well, all right, Grandpa, I won't get one. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's just funny, like, just the knowledge that they have.
Yeah, he's just amazing, and he had all these books. I mean, cases and cases of books that he actually donated to the national union in Pennsylvania. I want to say it's in Pittsburgh. And I came home one night. He was after work, and he was packing up these boxes and stuff. And he says, I said, you're gonna donate these, right? And he's like, yeah, UPS is coming, honey. Just I'm like, okay. I call him Pops, And he says, you know what they're gonna give me? I said, what are they gonna give you? I get to go to the Poconos. I go, oh, you're gonna go to the Poconos? I go, so you and Marlene are gonna go to the Poconos? Who said anything about taking Marlene, for goddamn sake? I'm like, well, it's your wife, Ed. Hagfish, can I help you? Yes. What time would you want to come in? Yeah, 12:30 is good. Okay. You're welcome. Bye-bye. But yeah, he's amazing. This guy is just great.
That sounds awesome. So when it actually, you said they went away in about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
How much did that affect the community?
Huge.
Yeah.
It was huge. I mean, that's I think when it was really, it was like the decline of this area.
Because I'm sure so many people had.
Oh my God.
Within there,
I mean, it was first. I think it was Wisconsin Steel went first, and then it was LTV Steel, and then I think there's maybe Bethlehem Steel was out here, and then the big one was U.S. Steel, and when that closed, it was devastating for this area.
And you would say that the community really hasn't recovered from it.
No, I mean, they've depended a lot on the Ford plant, but for a very long, maybe 5 years, the Ford plant was really in decline. But now I think they're actually going to a third shift.
Okay.
Wow.
Which is good, which is great, and the alderman's really been pushing that, and Quinn, and the governor. Cool. So they've actually, that's
good to get that support too.
That's great.
So that Steelworkers Union no longer exists then?
Mm-hmm.
Or
it exists, but not here.
Right.
Right. I mean, they do still have steelworkers unions, but unfortunately, this was the largest.
Oh wow.
Yep.
We had the largest steelworkers union in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
It was located here. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, do people still work in like the different steel mills in Indiana, or do they?
There, like the Gary Works is gone. What they have now is they have, it's right across the border. It's BP Amoco, which used to be Standard Oil.
Mm-hmm.
That's still up and running, but it's still not. I don't even think you would say that it's anywhere near what it used to be at one time too. In fact, my grandfather used to run Standard Oil.
Wow.
He was one of them. Years and years ago. It's in Whiting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was huge, and that's even like declining too.
So what occupation would you say most people would have around here now? Or if
Unemployed. A lot of city workers live here.
City workers. Yeah.
Cops and firefighters.
Yeah.
And everybody else is just unemployed.
Pretty much.
Wow. We talked about the CDBG. Yeah, CDBG grant.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we get it over there too. What is it?
Block grant.
Okay.
Chicago Developmental Block Grant. CDB. Block. Yeah.
And would you guys say that's your main source of funding?
No.
No.
CETA.
CETA?
Mm-hmm.
Just through the applications, or?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You guys pump out that many CETA applications.
Yep.
Now to keep just to put it in perspective, the amount that we get, the amount that you get per CETA application is like $14.
Wow.
Per application. So for it to be a major contribution to an organization means that we're pumping out a lot of people.
And we're one of the smallest ones.
Yeah.
Talk to the people in Englewood. Talk to the people on the west side. What about Hope Organization? You see that they're going to put his... You heard about him, right?
No.
Watkins.
What happened?
It's all over the news last week.
Paying
people to protest to close schools.
I've been so engaged in school, my internship, and
I did hear about that though.
It's all over the news.
Yeah,
People coming in to do CETA.
Mm-hmm.
He was giving them $50 vouchers so that they would go and protest. And these people didn't even know what they were protesting.
Wow.
Come to find out, they were protesting to have schools closed. Not keep schools open, to close schools in Chicago.
Wow.
So you know that Rahm Emanuel's behind that. You
Wow.
heard about the president of CETA, right?
No, I heard, because we have somebody that's working in CETA in our cohort, and she's doing it in Mount Prospect. I think that's where it is. And she was telling she was telling us that they were closing down a lot of this. Go ahead, answer.
He was fired.
He was?